Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of this Thursday evening, this incredibly hot Thursday evening. And ironically, we're on the subject of heat and the news that apparently the Harkles are too hot to handle, and that is in the context of the Met Gala. Now, it's been very interesting what has happened this year around with the Met Gala, because every year we get these rumours, Harkles are invited, Harkles are going, Meghan's going to be co-hosting and all that nonsense, and then no sign of them. Rather similar to the Oscars and various other things. This time, first came the story that the Harkles were indeed invited. And I went and checked because I saw this and I screen grabbed it, which is what I do with all these stories and keep them. And I screen grabbed it and I thought, well, we'll wait. The energy didn't feel right to read on, so I didn't read on it. But today I went back and looked, where did this story come from? It came from Marca, which is a Spanish news site. Interesting, because lots of Harkle stories are being leaked through Spanish language media lately. Some quite unsavory stories have been leaked through Spanish press, as I recall. Stories that you will find on the Royals playlist for this year, without going into the gruesome details of what they are. But so that was the first thing that we heard about this year's Met Gala. Harkles invited, coming from Spanish news sources. Then there was a story that the Harkles, or the South Harkles, were going to miss out on the Met Gala over ongoing family drama. And the story went on, and this is in the Independent newspaper in the UK, which is a very anti-royal newspaper, as I understand it, and therefore probably quite pro-Harkle, South Harkle. The story went on, they will be reluctant to attend red carpet events because of the ongoing family drama, meaning the coronation saga, and particularly the Met Gala. They would be reluctant to attend it because it takes place on the 1st of May, 5 days before the coronation. And there was much head scratching at that. Harkle's private jets, 1st of May, 6th of May, pretty easy for them to attend one event in New York and then hop on a private jet and be in London the next day, surely. So that didn't make much sense, but that was the next story. And then today came the news that the Met Gala appearance is in doubt as the couple is viewed as being too hot to handle. And that comes from the Scottish Daily Express, that story. So I have the Wandering Star Tarot on the tarot table, and because it's late and because it's hot, I'm going to do a short 5-card reading using this tarot deck, and we're going to have a look and see what's going on. How desperate were the Harkles to go to the Met Gala this year? Were they invited, disinvited? Because there's rumours that they might have been invited and then disinvited. So we want to know, invited, disinvited, what's going on. How they feel about being labelled as too hot to handle, and this is because of their plunging popularity in the United States. How does that feel for them? And what impact is this going to have? They're not going, or they're being not invited or disinvited. What impact is it going to have on their celebrity standing in the United States? And my underlying energy that I want to know, we'll see what the tarot shows for us, underlying energy, but there is a thought in my head for this underlying energy. I want to know if a dress has been got ready already for the Met Gala. There was some wailing and gnashing of teeth over that stylist who's apparently resigned or retired or something. Can't think of his name now. In a sort of fit of pique over having to sit in the second row at some fashion show. It all passes me by. It means nothing to me. But some gnashing of teeth that he didn't have a chance to style the beautiful Duchess. Anyway, so that's our little reading. It, of course, just tarot, just for fun, entertainment, just gossip, just opinion and speculation. Archetypal energy, disclaimer in the box below, all that stuff, you know the drill. And let's see what is going on. Ooh, 8 of Pentacles. Yes to my question. Yes. Hard at work. It's a little beekeeper there, but The little beekeeper is in quite a fancy outfit, her little beekeeping outfit. Busy bees there. The Eight of Pentacles. There are people who have been sewing away, stitching painstakingly, I would say, by hand, stitching like those poor people had to with that ridiculously long veil with all the flowers, the symbols from the Commonwealth countries. That the second time bride, and some people say possibly even third time down the aisle for her, thought fit to wear despite the late Queen telling her she wasn't supposed to. Never mind that. There she is in a very fancy outfit. I think we have our answer. So let's have a look and see what the situation is with the Met Gala and the Harkles, the South Parkles, attendance, non-attendance. Oh dear. Cast into despair by this, the Nine of Pentacles, but the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Look how sad she is when she's in reverse. That lovely, beautiful lady who's surrounded by bling, all the good things, the designer handbags and shoes that she might have just forgotten to hand back, the jewelry that she's always very keen to show, the ring missing, curiously, perhaps being off to be redesigned yet again, the engagement ring for the great event. But card in the reverse, this is very down and out. This is feeling sad and lonely and unwanted. The Nine of Pentacles, upright, very independent, self-motivated, doesn't need anyone, everything good in their lives, very well provisioned, well accomplished and independent lady, but in reverse, sad and lonely. Nobody wants her, nobody loves her, and also a bit short of cash. So that's very interesting as our situation that we are reading on right now. How desperate were the South Parkles to go to the Met Gala, and particularly one member of the couple? How desperate were they? Three of Cups in reverse, very sad to be left out. Very, very sad. Everybody else going, having fun, not left out again. We've got two cards saying left out. No Oscars, no Met Gala. I'm going to try and left eye tear. How does it go? One tear, left eye go, or something like that. I'm going to try my best as I'm doing this reading to do that. I might not succeed, but I think that's the energy we're dealing with right now, that all of you watching perhaps might also try that. Squeeze out a tear for the lonely Duchess left at home while everyone else is partying. So was there an actual invite? Were they disinvited? What's going on? Or not invited? Knight of Wands. I wouldn't say the Knight of Wands is intuition. In my opinion, it's a that's the too hot to handle, actually, the Knight of Wands. We're going to read on this over here, how the Harkles feel about being labelled as too hot to handle, but this is too hot to handle. That's the Knight of Wands. Literally what the Knight of Wands is about. It's a fire sign. It's a very volatile energy, very unpredictable energy. Somebody who shows up and you don't know what they're going to do, how long they're going to stick around. Great fun when they're there, but then they leave. And what do you do once they've left? I think that they were not invited because it was a feeling that there might be some show stealing, from some attention seeking, some drama, that perhaps these women here said no. We don't want somebody over there, our Nine of Pentacles in reverse, stealing our thunder, taking attention from us. She's bumped up wannabe. Who is she? She hasn't achieved anything in her life except marry the Ginger Winter and then take him away from the royal family, whereas we are all very successful in our own ways, whether it's acting or singing or whatever, creative pursuits of some sort. They're all very accomplished and very successful. Not. So no, too hot to handle. Also the unpopularity, the opinion polls that are just devastatingly bad at this point. Tell us how the South Parkles feel about having to stay at home. And because they are too hot to handle now, they are too unpopular, too tricky, too difficult. Nobody wants to hang out with them. Three of Cups in reverse. How is this going for them? How do they feel? 10 of Cups. We're going to see. We're going to get a little clap back. on the 1st of May or thereabouts, and we could get Lilibet's birthday. I'm not Lilibet, who's it? Archie's birthday. We're going to get, it doesn't matter because we're so happy, and look at us. We might get her papped somewhere with children even, or we might get that magazine spread that people are expecting from the christening, that allegedly brought some money in, possibly some much needed money. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So we're going to get something. We're going to get some indication that it doesn't matter. She's perfectly happy. She's more than happy at home with her life, with her children, with her family, with her charitable endeavors. Who needs the Met Gala? So that is what's going to happen. But we know the 10 of Cups. We know this card very well now in these royal readings. Anyway, the energy that comes to me as a reader from the 10 of Cups in these royal readings is the lady protests too much. Just over-eggs it a little bit so that you might suspect that perhaps it's all not so wonderful behind the scenes. Whatever you're seeing in that magazine spread, maybe not. Maybe not. Very often those things show up. Well, they used to in the 90s when they were a thing, really, just before divorce was announced. I'm just saying there was quite a strange correlation between the two events. Let's see the outcome for the South Parkles being excluded from the Met Gala yet again because people don't want her there. Too much drama, too hot, too difficult, too tricky. How is this going to impact their brand, themselves, their life as influencers and celebrities? What is going to happen? And we got a King of Swords here. Quite interesting. Very powerful male energy. Very powerful strategist. And I think that someone big might be called on. It is an air sign. It could be an Oprah-y kind of person. Even though it's male energy. Somebody is going to be pulled in to help the King of Swords. That is somebody who's strategic and shrewd, very insightful, very clever, very powerful, quite ruthless. So we're going to get some sort of power move coming up. We're going to get this 10 of Cups scenario. I'm living the perfect life at home with my family, my children, my darling children, and there they are. A redhead and a sort of a darker child, interestingly. And then we're going to get the King of Swords power play, where they might team up with somebody. They might hire somebody new. They might be supported. Somebody important might come out and give them a lot of endorsement. That's coming. They're not going to give up. They're not going to roll over and die. But there is some kind of strategic move that is coming up. It's going to be pretty transparent because everything is transparent with the Harkles right now, but it's not going to stop her in particular, 9 of Pentacles in reverse, from trying. And I pity the poor ladies stitching away. I wouldn't say a stitch in time. So there's your reading, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you again on a hopefully much cooler day tomorrow.